Hey y'all, Midlife Miler here. Welcome back. Here's part 2 of my interview with R.T. Hill of the Stride Shop about overtraining. Enjoy. Is overtraining something that older runners are more susceptible to? Or would you say younger runners because of that sort of indestructible aspect of being young? Like in your experience as far as the clients that you see, where does it tend to fall?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say probably the younger runner is more at it, just because they don't really know how to regulate themselves quite as well. See, if you've made it to be a little bit older runner, you've done something right. You've either gone through an injury or you've learned how to kind of taper yourself to where you're not necessarily pushing yourself. Some people do. I'm not saying that happens with everyone. But most runners, when they get out there, they train and run in this moderate intensity zone, right? Not necessarily low, not necessarily high. They run in this middle zone where we show over time will actually decrease your ability to perform. And they do that, one, because we join run groups, which is a fantastic thing. That's one of the things that we got into this, is because of all the running groups in New Orleans. It's a community type atmosphere. But you have a group of people that get together and they start pushing one another. And I think the younger group can possibly maybe try and outdo one another a little bit more. But then you have, older runners that are probably just like, screw these young bucks, man. I'm about to show that I got it. I got it in the bag,
Still haven't. I don't know anything about that.
So we'll say it depends on the personality type, old or young. Right. Don't get me wrong. If you want to be the best runner you can be, you need somebody pushing you. You need somebody to compete against, because there comes a certain point to where you're not going to push yourself unless you have someone else that you're going against. Some people may be able to, but I think they're more of the exception than the rule. The normal person, if someone else is racing against you, you're going to try a little bit harder, right? If you have a peak running test where we're testing, okay, this is what your VO2 max is, kind of thing, run until you can't run anymore. If it's open-ended and you're the one that has the decision to quit, you're going to quit sooner than you would if they say, okay, I need you to push it as hard as you can for 3 miles. It's a closed loop, so you know when the end is, and you know that, okay, I've got 400 meters left, I need to grit down, push through whatever it is and go to it, right? And so there's a competitive nature that you have to really push yourself. Where I think people get in trouble is every single day, I need to run hard, I need to run hard, I need to run hard, I need to run hard.
So recovery is something that's very important.
Absolutely, right? The reason we lift weights, the reason we run, we put our body through the stressors and the strain that we do, is to get to that recovery portion. The recovery is where you actually get stronger and where your body builds resiliency and things like that. If you never get that recovery portion of it, then what your body is constantly doing, we were talking about this, is you get into that fight or flight system for an extended period of time. That dampens your rest and recovery portion of the autonomic nervous system, the nervous system. And if you don't have that, you don't recover, your body remains stressed, right? And so you can actually increase the stiffness of your blood vessels, right? So you don't deliver oxygen to the muscles as well as you need to. The bone breaks down and never has a chance to recover, leading to shin pins, splints, bone stress injuries, bone stress fractures, right? That's a factor of never letting the body get back into that recovery. Recovery is maybe decreasing the intensity for a run or two a week, maybe taking a day off during the week, doing some form of cross training, in there. Making sure your nutrition is on par with something that promotes anti-inflammation and helping your body heal. Staying hydrated is a huge part of recovery, right? So again, a lot of components that go into it, but if you're constantly go, 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 and your body's constantly stressed all the time, you dampen that ability to make yourself stronger, build resiliency, and like I was saying, it depresses your immune system. So people who are overtraining will tend to catch cold a little bit easier, catch flu a little bit easier, catch some of those things that they just tend to pick it up because it dampens the immune system.
So you would say you're a believer in cross-training.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are some of the cross-training exercises you recommend for runners?
So getting into some form of a baseline lifting program is one of the big things, right? There's 5 primary movements. You got a push, a pull, a hinge, a squat, and a carry, right? Find a way a couple days a week to do those five movements, right? With runners, we tend to add in something for the calves, especially if you're a distance runner that's running anywhere from that around 750 pace to above, right? A lot of your propulsion's coming from the calves. The squats and the hinges, getting into the glutes for Walsh and Cathing. We'll also add in something single leg because running is a single leg activity, jumping from one leg to the other. So some form of a weightlifting routine, some form of a strength and conditioning. I love to recommend swimming, right? Unloads the body, you can keep the cardiovascular system up while keeping a relatively low heart rate. It's easy on the joints, it keeps the mobility in check and gives the body a chance to move. So things like that, you're swimming, you're biking, and some form of a weightlifting.
So this location would be a place where somebody could come to, what are the kind of things that you can get from coming to the Stride Shop?
Sure. So let's kind of start with where we differentiate from a traditional PT clinic, right? What we do, and it's not 100%, but what we specialize in is running injuries, right? We run ourselves. This is our arena, is specifically with running community, the running community. We're a one-on-one type of clinic, right? So you're in here. It's not a traditional thing where you're getting seen with 3 other patients. You're in here. You're with us. We're specific to what's happening at that time. Coming in, we do head-to-toe mobility assessment, right? So you may have something happening in the shoulder. To us, that can affect your running form. Okay, start at the toe, make our way all the way up. We go through where the strength weaknesses are, where the mobility weaknesses are, the limitations are. Give a program just for that. We do a run analysis if we feel like it's necessary. So like you said, look at form. Tougher on a treadmill compared to outdoor running, but it does give us an idea of what we can look for. All of our stuff is run centric. Pretty much one of the biggest complaints that we were hearing from patients that we would see is that I love running, but as soon as I go to an ortho, that ortho is going to tell me, well, just stop running, shut it down. And we're not of that philosophy. Ours is, well, let's figure out how you can become a more efficient runner. Let's figure out what you can do pain-free and get you back into it as quickly as possible. If you're able to run a little bit, we want you running. Maybe we drop it down to a run-walk program or something like that. But our goal and our idea is to push that, to keep you moving.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
be in touch again. And we
Wonderful.
have more questions.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video, that interview with RT Hill. I'm going to leave his the Stride Shop's Instagram in the description and how to get in touch with them. If you live in the New Orleans area, I highly recommend their expertise. They really know what they're talking about. They really know what they're doing. And keep your eyes open We got some workouts coming your way, and we're going to have RT back at some point because we're going to have more technical questions that, I really can't answer. And I'll see y'all soon.